Good morning to all, and a very warm welcome once again to our podcast, The Career Journey. In today's quick tips of careers and career transition, I will discuss with you the importance and need to plan careers beyond the conventional work lifespan of, say, 25 to 60 or 65 years. I will take up the most undiscussed, or rather, not a very relevant phase of life, which is the age range of anything above 60 to 65 to 75 years and beyond. We need to understand that lifespan is not in our control, except how we lead it. It is essential to believe in the fact that you need to keep yourself relevant as long as you are on this planet. With this, we will dive into crafting careers after retirement. So, welcome once again. And I would like to tell you that no matter what you have done in the last 25 to 30 years or more in your life, in your careers, let that not define who you are or what you are not capable of. In today's world, there is no limit to what you can explore, experience, and pursue as long as you have made up your mind to get yourself started. So, today we will discuss on four very fundamental questions which ignite in everyone's mind who is reaching near retirement or who's already retired and contemplating a career comeback. So, first question is, why should you have a career after retirement? Many a times people are quite complacent with the fact that once I'm retired, I will relax and I will not do anything. I've made my money, I've worked hard, I'm simply going to relax. And you must. It is really the time for you to unwind and relax, but not at the cost of really losing your sanity, your physical capabilities, as well as your mental activity. And why you need to have something which keeps you busy and not in the classic definition of a career is purely to keep you mentally stimulated and ensure that you have a purpose. Staying mentally active helps keep cognitive decline at bay. Everyone knows this. And a purposeful life post retirement improves mental well being and life satisfaction. To understand, if you suddenly stop working, your mental health will deteriorate. In fact, most of us who suddenly take a holiday of 5 days, 10 days, or 2 to 3 weeks eventually start missing work. And that is exactly what will happen if you suddenly stop. So it's important to keep you mentally active. Second is financial security. While most of you would have your finances in place, but it also supplements your current savings. So that extra income provides a cushion for healthcare, travel, or even supporting family. It can help delay tapping into retirement funds or maintain a certain lifestyle. And then, of course, personal growth. Retirement offers a chance to explore new interests or develop dormant talents. Many people shift to careers that align with their values, like teaching, coaching, and even creative work. The next reason is ensure that you are socially connected. A job or work or anything that keeps you busy helps prevent loneliness, which is the biggest bane of old age. So you're constantly in touch with people beyond your family, you're building new networks, and that keeps you energized and emotionally enriched. Contribution. A lot of retirees often want to give back. So sharing decades of experience through mentoring, volunteering, or starting community based initiatives, it's an opportunity to leave a meaningful mark. Last but not the least, you get a flexible lifestyle with structure. So we are not talking about full-time jobs here, but a post-retirement career often offers you the best of both worlds: engagement with flexibility. Having some structure in your week promotes routine and balance without the pressure of full time work. So it's important that you consider these aspects very seriously whenever the question erupts: why should you work after retirement? The next question that we're going to take up today is when to start planning your second innings. Now, honestly, there is no right or wrong time to plan this, but ideally, by the time you're in your 40s, 50s, that's a good time to start thinking and planning what you want to do once you're out of main corporate life, or, you know, the regular 9 to 5 job. I would say 9 to 9. So, what do you want to do post official retirement? That is maybe 60 or 65 in some cases. It could be 70 also, where you are officially retired. So, what do you want to do after that? You really have 1 or 2 decades prior to that mark. And therefore, that is the time where you need to ensure that how much finances are required, whether it's for your children, your household expenses, your retirement fund. When you've done your maths, you need to check with yourself how much you need to earn post retirement, and do you even need to earn, or you can do a work or a vocation that does not require you to earn. These are questions that you need to answer yourself. Once the finances, or as I say, once the maths is in place, you can plan your thoughts towards the kind of opportunity, the kind of profession, the kind of sector or kind of work that would give you thrill, which would help you manage both your personal life as well as your health. And we will talk a lot on the health part of it a little later in the next few minutes, because that is something which does come into the picture. And we suggest that please keep that in mind. We're not getting younger as we're getting older. So we need to ensure that whatever we are putting or committing ourselves to aligns with all aspects of our lives. So as I said, start planning ideally in your mid 40s all the way up to your mid 50s. Yeah. The next question which comes up, and we do discuss this with a lot of our senior clients who are 25, 30 plus years of experience, and they're on the brink of retirement and they're planning their second innings, they're contemplating their children have grown up, the empty nesters, they are often at a loss of what type of career to consider. As I just mentioned, it needs to be aligned with your passion, what you'd like to do. Uh, Most often, you will not get employment back in the mainstream economy simply because of age bracket or the experience desired. And please understand that it has nothing to do with older or senior candidates. We can talk a lot about ageism, etc., but please don't take it to heart. And there is no point really talking too much about it, because the fact is the system will suddenly not change. Number one. Number two, the economy needs to absorb the younger generation as well. So we have not reached a stage and point where the economy absorbs everybody from 20 years all the way to 80 years. I mean, that's not the reality. So we need to accept the reality and then identify what are possible solutions within the space we are operating right now. So, some of the examples which are very generic and mostly people do know about it, it is important for you to look at these options as career options to start off. And why I say start off is because then it can lead to other more exciting and complex and more meaningful roles as you take the first step. First one, which is the most popular, is consulting. A lot of you who have worked in various fields and have a solid experience of more than 2, 3 decades are perfectly fit for consulting roles. And you must apply for jobs on various job portals like LinkedIn, where they are looking at part time or hybrid consultants. So do not hesitate not applying online altogether, but keep an eye for consulting and even coaching roles. Coaching can be in anything, whether it's career coaching or it's in sports coaching. It could be in your domain, in your fields altogether. So look at opportunities for these. Related options are teaching, mentoring, online course creator, and as we have recently realized that there are so many online platforms right now which are perfectly suitable for people who want a work from home arrangement, especially retirees, and in fact, a lot of individuals who, both men, women, who are not able to commit to full time jobs. They have this perfect, they're wonderful, platforms which offer you the opportunity to log in, create your profile, and start getting clients, individuals who you can teach. There are many online you can search up. So, as I said, wherever you are ensuring development for your clients, these are perfect roles to get started. And once you get started on these, you actually realize you do open a lot of other opportunities for yourself. The next one is, of course, doing some freelance work. And by freelance, there is no stoppage when it comes to the kind of options you have. You can be a writer, editor, a blogger, graphic designer, photographer, social worker. You could be involved in fundraising or outreach. You could get involved in education support, similar to what I just mentioned to you around teaching and mentoring, and it could be more for underprivileged kids or children within your vicinity or in your network who cannot afford formal education. So these are things that you can look at from a freelance activity. And we do know, in fact, I do know a lot of senior citizens who have moved into writing and they're actually publishing books. While I'm not saying you need to heavily depend on technology, but right now there is so much of help online for you to draft your manuscripts. You can really take a lot of help. In fact, do go and explore all AI and its tools to help you compose and start writing. A lot of times, not all of us are very good at writing and expressing what we want to say. And some of these tools really help us do that. So please do explore that. And of course, the next one being an entrepreneurial venture. And that could be, again, any field or area which you would really like to get involved and create something. And this is for those who've always wanted to build something. You can start very, very small. Any business takes time, and of course, I won't say that you have time on your hand, but what you do have is a lot of patience by now. So at that point in our lives, we know exactly how to trade carefully, cautiously, what all to keep in mind because of the rich experience that we've had in our life. So it's also the best time to get on to an entrepreneurial journey and see what will work best for you. You can do a lot of business online as well, sitting out of home. So, how to get started? The last and final question, which is something which is the most important and fundamental. While I would love to dwell into the classic Myra 4Ms, as we call, which is mind, movement, mentoring, and meeting, I will not detail into that right now. But fundamentally, this basically stands for 4 to 5 core focus areas whenever you're starting, restarting, or transitioning into career at any stage and phase of your life is first to create a personal value statement. What are your values, which should define you as per your strengths, your purpose, your goals? When you have that fundamental script in front of you, you need to also check how you are doing in terms of holistic health. And that is what I mentioned a few minutes ago. We need to focus on health, which is both mental and physical health at that juncture, at that point of time in life. You need to ensure that your health is totally in your control and you're not dealing or facing major health issues, because if that comes into the way, uh, these goals can get really sidelined. So, health is very, very important. The third piece is what I really elaborated on the last few minutes is actually, your industry knowledge, your experience, your skills, how you'd like to put it all together, how do you like to position yourself in the market, how would you'd like to go out and talk about yourself, what is it that you're offering, what are you pitching for. That is really the mentoring part where you actually can consult people in the industry or people who are within your age bracket, your peers, or people who are even more senior to you and younger to you, who can give you some very valuable real time advice on how to go about it. And that's the mentoring part of it. The last but not the least, which is the most fundamental, is this is the time for you to get started and start meeting. So reach out to former colleagues and your companies, as I just mentioned, anyone and everyone who can give you sane advice and tips and leads and support. Go and meet them. Invest your time in building those relationships. So we are sharing with you a link in our comments section today that is a super small questionnaire which will barely take you 2 minutes to fill in. So if you want to know what careers suit you and how you'd like to get started, take the survey and also about email a bit about yourself on connect at myra.pro, connect at the rate mayra dot pro, and we will reach out to you. So thank you for joining today, and hope you have a wonderful weekend till we meet again in our next career journey. Thank you so much.